So what are we doing now, guys? What kind of project we engaged in?
ngazu khari chide rest ta leshi ro khari chide rest dinala ngazu chide rest thanda Tarup. So we are learning about philosophy of science.
I mean specifically right now, right? What are we doing in doing philosophy of science? What are we learning?
Therigi tarup ta ro di nanglo ngazu khari jangshim ba rest thanda Talkship about observation, hypothesis. So we are like we're in the ancient times and observing things around.
So what we are really doing, we are learning how scientific theories are made.
먼저 khari kor jang de launa seri gi namsha di khande sugu me jora di kor jang de ro astanda seri gi namsha la di khande chi shagu me
right from the starting point to the final theory about whatever part of the world we are talking about.
ta khari kor shigi we na re ra chase se kholana ta ngara su thangbo gozu woni chine ani namsha susu bodo shaya bodo di changmo sugu ro astanda di kor she de ro as
And we said the beginning of every theory is observation of those things you want to explain.
Dila du namsha la du khani gozugur lawana gozugsa jura di khani gozugure toshib ni gozugur ras toshib di gyune khirang khari tishi gya yo ine thangbo gozugsa di toshib rang ni chagi ras
And so we transported ourselves to ancient Greece
cheza ani nganzu ngara zu khwala ma pere
to see how
Greece to jura Greek to digap so ma pe ras
to see from the beginning, essentially, of Western civilization, the first theory of universe, how they were created.
Dilo jigden kham gi namsha la mangbu yora thanda thangshwe di khon chunglan nupchoni chungwa ras di kor shigi ras khande thangbo khande swe me di
And we started what we had to with what we observe in the sky. See, it doesn't work at all.
di jala ani nganzu gi namla khari thungu me di changmata ras
Because what is relevant
projector
for the astronomy is what we see in the sky.
ta thanda ngazu karche rikpa na khari chiur lawa na toshib de chisa kho cha de la na namla khari thungu me di tagi ras
So the first guy who made the first theory of the universe was a Greek philosopher, Aristotle.
ta namsha thangbo shangi jura nupchoni su cha de la na tarup ma Aristotle and ra khoran cha de ras
And as we said last time, Aristotelian picture of the universe lasted from 300 BC until 1600 AD.
ta Aristotle gi jigdeng ham gi namsha ji shay ra di an gyuring bu shu ne ras an lo thanda go ma su khong la ra lo sumya ne chin an chikdong thukya bado digas gyuring bu ne ras
Not exactly how it was, but the basic elements were there for centuries of his picture of the universe.
ne khurang gi jigdeng ham na thanda ngaro su shagyo na khari cha de la na so thanda junga kor she ra tinzu gyuring bu shu ne ras khoran she sha de
Of course, it's because we didn't know better.
khais na khajin ne la na dilal ha su je shigi maras chezang khurang gi namsha di tharan de res
Last time we saw what he said about the skies, and then we said sublunar region below the moon is very different than the sky.
Tilo de thanda sublunar region lana ne jura khari khigur launa tawe wo jura din ne dida ni di gang la nam gi thanda phanang gi chashi jura dinila ni khebar shuer la res
We saw last night, and you guys debate so much and argue. So in this class, employ all your logical skills. So why would Aristotle have reasons to believe that skies are different than the earth?
ta thanda ngoni Aristotle gi shera thanda dawe wo gi ne dilana sa jigdeng ham di thanda se khola din ju cha di ras samling da di gang gi ne di khar cha de re nam yora tingi kheba shu yores la jora di Aristotle gi khajin she ba do dos na kesa gonda thon sus kheran jo cheba shu che deshas di rigba ta chama pheju chinta la das thanda
That's right. Okay, so yeah.
Ribo shu tang do lasta thanda tang dasti. Aristotle gidi khajin la res kheba shu yerlen.
It's really true. Philosophy is an ideal class for you because you're practicing every day to think logically, and that's what we are doing in philosophy.
Tadub la dil kheran sul takta rimbu shu cha de res. Khainlan tadub zindash do dina kharchu gorlan ni mata wa anzu kharchu gore ribata ni en chegwe su su samno tani di peju chigu ki ras.
So in this class, just draw the inferences like you're doing during your debates.
The Keranzu Namju Tsobatsu de Yura, Dinal Keranzu Jeba Mambuji Shayuas, Dinashi and Tanda Jeba Shadas Keranzo. Aristotle get into Kajin La Relajura.
So why would Aristotle have reasons to believe that a different laws or different matter of things are made is in the sky than on earth?
Dila do say Kolalata Pemzero da Dindisho and Nongokon Gichan Shigura, Di Mendoji Imbache and Tahanashi. Namla yue panang la yue da ngobu din zuyan logare lan korang yawache ros di kharjin yawache res korangi gunse kharil teni korangi sheres di.
What we would say, is he justified in it? Did he have good reasons to believe that?
Da korangi je chigyo ra din res la ni tama she res dila gunse yakbu yo res koran la she no
one at a time.
Since after studying, he got many new informations about the earth and the sky.
What kind of information would be relevant to making that inference?
Dile du korangi cheba ji shayra da kheba shuir la jura dini chiba mares loga res la di ne su khande jil tan ni la yo res korangi. So since so what she said is, since Earth has all the basic factors required for the survival of living things, so there are humans and other living creatures on the Earth, whereas on other planets or other objects in the sky they don't have.
How do they know that?
The kerang is shimbala yo mares la ora da sada sai khola phashani shimba dinjula ani tanda mida dindu yo mar la ra ko khandes sheresti ha khandes ha ko res Aristotle khorang korshi war this sure sa sungdu wal sen ra shimba din Okay, so what she is saying, like, since there were many scientists before Aristotle and they have discovered that there is oxygen only on the planet Earth, so on that basis he said Earth is different from.
They did not know about oxygen in ancient Greece.
Tangema narab tujo shigora digapsu thanda solung jia oxygen korshegi yo mares khunjui.
We're 2,500 years ago now in the past.
The ma chirda chio ena ra ma do ena lo nidong abjang wes ki keje shigores.
Before they knew about oxygen, before they had telescope, everything what you know now, they did not know.
The lo nidong abjang we la du gal yuje din zu yore yangshe da thanda tujeri yora dige changma yo mares. And thanda solung yore thanda oxygen den de korshegi yo mares. Thanda ngaju ne ju shio de nyama shigi yore la na shigi yo mares kwanzo.
근데 난 신기라 주제 사소에 맨날 이 여다 얘기를 그런 게 답지 말고 싫어. 아니 네 답지 제일 유지 좀 맨날 그 답지 제신 말 완전로 유지 하고 싶으면 남기는 것이다.
So what she is saying, like, there must be some instrument or some tools which Aristotle may have used, because without tools we cannot say, we cannot explain about the things around us.
But I want to exactly show you that the first theories were created at a time with no tools, all naked eye observations, and the theory has to account for those, gives you a picture, but just using whatever data you have. And only data is naked eye observation, no tools of any kind.
다 가리시에 라나 나랍기 뒤줄로 니동합장 모여라나 락자 요거로 말아 딘데 리교 마레스 디 메일라두 가라 탄다 남샤 샤이디 가릴 때니 샤겨 라오나 수수미 깡베 통에 탄다 네수딘 조여라 딜라 시샤니 아니 남샤 디 줍죠 레스 딜라두 수수 다 데셰 게디 가릴 시샤겨 라오나 수수미기 통교 디랑 차겨 레스 유제다 락자 케고 주요 마레스
And by the way, if somebody of you gives one answer and somebody has a response to that answer or criticism of that answer, different you, raise your hand and do it, just like you argue among yourself.
Ta indalas namju jabase diya di chiboji kyan zina na na indas ta kurangi lenji kya ora kiranzu mutu yuna yore mewaina kiranzu choba kya yora da ya lente yudi ta di mdulan ya kiranzu nembe kya na digi yore stigala.
What I'm doing exactly what you guys are doing. I'm just drawing the inferences from the data. You can do that with your logical skills anytime.
단당이 제디 키란수 당시 제디요레스 먼저 똑십 거리 중앙 딜라테니 먼저 제바 샤야죠라 디 치기요라스 디나시 키란수 거리 수수 리바땅 거리치네 디기요레스
단다 거기야 다와데 아니 바나 강라 제사데 올둘라오라 티가서 콜 추시 제비도 다요 마라 인디 코란 잠블링 강라 데데 하오라 잠블링 두스텔 자마 아주 바나 이거도 있어 다와데 아주 강라 돈데라 디디진 똑십시.
So he got this inference because from the earth when we look up high in the sky we see the moon and other objects. So he thought that the moon and the other objects are higher up when we compare it with the earth.
They are high up. But why would we think that what's going on there up is different than what is going here on earth?
이네 투어 거리를 나오나 파기날 거리 중앙 줘라다 뭐함 기찬 시도 뱀제다 거리 보이나 다디 단다 거리시를 중앙 계셔서 세 콜라디 로가 차되레 심바다 두어이나 디 코랑기 칸데스 레스 라기로
세 콜라다 혼줄레 중앙이 두베게 데 카가 가르레네
데세 콜라디 로가레 대가나시 아니 namla yue ngoboden ju loga res tini para kheba yore slide korangi share lara di khandes share la or korangi.
What difference he saw in the sky in comparison to the earth?
Dile dita trije yo mara koran toship chun ani kheba khari thon res kang namla thon jora dida ani se khulal khebar khari thon res korangi.
namshi nambar tinga ani mine tu mine tu mara korangi ra mo ni sutta di la kani ini ngaze gaze ini jauh tadi kogira dawa dira bilang macam ini tadi dah susu di kan coba di rela ni macam sari orang lain bisa di baru lah bilang ni baca di baru lah kabarnang kayak tongcai ni macam biji yang lain seperti
반응요. 단다디 So since we see the other heavenly bodies or the objects high up in the sky, so he hypothesized that there is a space in between the earth and these other objects.
And these other objects move how?
아니 ngobo shimbaden zo koran 통화체 안티아나 시디 para tong바에도 반응 열란 셰레스라라 안 ngobo shimbaden zo 요거 칸데 지기요레스
karmayo kama tulida ani dawa nyamado
찍찍인달로
da numne nyuwe de zara hazoya 지금 하마 샤네 셔거 numne 사조 카가라이 this 통기다 유글진 도라.
So from the earth when we look up in the sky, moon rises in the east and sets in the west.
Okay. What did you want to say, Nawang?
So he saw that all the objects in the sky rises in the east and sets in the west.
And how do they move?
그래서 요거 간데스 지거레스 요거 지당 캐봐요라. 근데 요거 간데스 지거레스.
How do they
구조
move?
당겨요라 ngobo 된죠. 구조 간데 당겨요레스. 다 강라 반난 거 ngobo 망부시 통고다 까마다 나가다 망부지요라. 요거 간데 지거레스라.
They Shakya?
디스코. So we see the stars only in the night, and
Yeah.
in the daytime they disappear.
Yes, but we see that all the objects in the sky circle, right? Their natural motion is a circle.
Tanga ju namle ya ta du ngobu mangbu jura. Yogu gujo chiyor lan kelin chiyora gujo hande tangyor la wana gujo tangdan di gogo tangyor was.
And they move uniformly, as we said last time.
Dila an gyose hande la na gyose tembo jigala yogu chiya di kenan ju kisa thong was.
You remember that?
Tengi doesa.
How do objects move on the earth?
Ngobu den ju se khulala yogu hande chiyorelas. Hande chiyor. So nyama tuzi la narabla. La.
Again, one at a time.
Chik in the changmanyam do
One at a time, because you can talk to each other. That would be great, but you just have to let every person to say it.
Patsu shena digre sine changmal khoga guyoras. So, like in ancient time, there were no cars or motorcycles, so they know that something is moving when the person is walking.
Okay, but it's not just that. Any object, like for example, I can.
Ale thanda rangsing gi yugu che di chibu lawo marda chidang gujo ta yora tilagor.
How did it move?
Tangobu di yuswa gujo hande tang son sadi. So it fell down.
It just fell down in straight line, right?
Ma sadu hajido khaptu ma sagdas thangti
It's
jigal
not
ma
that-
sagdas.
Like on the sky, you see things circle. On Earth, you see things moving all sorts of different random ways, not uniformly, and so on.
Ta thanda phanang le ngobu denjo yogu chigere yogu chikpa chigere lara sangma gogo che ani gyose chikpa imba che sai khula la ngobu denjo ma ta thanda gujo dan yogu di ma yusa dinan shu yudu gala yogu che di ngeme ra sangma.
We can push objects.
Thang na shita di yogu chis gujo tan sa.
And what happens when I push them?
Di kubja di buje tan ras. Buje tan du khar chi sons. It changed its place.
They go for a while, and then what?
This chiringal dosa ani khar chi sos. It stopped.
They just stop. Do we see things stopping in the sky?
Ta den du gujo tan sa gujo tan ga sa las. Thang na shi phanal ta du ngobu den gujo tan ga des. No, they don't stop.
So is that good enough reason to think things are very different in the sky than they're here on Earth?
Da thanda pizun dene roji shani ge seu shu thong mun des. Ngobu den thanda se kolal yo na shi phanang da khep chikba member kheba yo seu thong dos.
Right? Isn't that what you do usually? You try to find the differences. And if there are differences, you think something different is going on here.
Dila du da kheba thong ro. Dila du dining nang lor mandra ji yo da kheran ju seu she thu ros.
So that's what Aristotle noticed. Aristotle noticed things are different in the sky than on the earth, and then he postulated different matter of which things are made in the sky than on earth.
Dila du khora da dini la se khola da an phanang ju ngobu den jul kheba yor len khorang gi nye ros. Dila du ani phemje khande gi dubi me je ra se khola di thola khorang gi da samlo tang chom do chi res.
And last time we stopped exactly here. We said that in this sublunar region below the moon, there are 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire.
Da di dawe menchu gi da ne ro di cha de ra khu di. Di khesa kor she sa ros. An di khari dubir la wa na tan da jungwa shi dubir la ros sa chu melung gi dubir la she sa ros.
And this earth, water, air, and fire, these are basic elements. Just like nowadays, the basic elements in chemistry is hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, and so on.
Da thanda ngema thuzu imba na da jungwa shi la du da thanda thangi element la di chaje ro sha do. Di jungwa shi na thanda ngema imba na sa chu melung di chawe ro sti yo res. Thanda ngara ju khari chi yor la wa na chaje na la yanglung che thangna shi ani soglung che ani nakje da di chi yo asti ro cha de res nima.
And everything on the earth is made of these 4 elements in different proportions.
Che zanta se khula nongo bo khande jim ba na ra khari gi dup sher la wa na di chungwa shi do di du ba res yene to khoran jo mangyung kheba yo yo din di gi dup sher jo ji yo res.
And Aristotle believed that everything has essential nature.
Ani chik khoran gi khari sher la wa na khande jim ba na ra 상말라 코란 속에 랑싱기다 직 만다와 직 요아직 된데 시에레스.
By essential nature, we mean something, what thing is, what makes that thing that thing.
디들도 랑시 민다와 지요 라두갈라다 신다 로수 요아직 요라스 코란 직불 요아 된데 시요레스.
So, for example, it is not essential natures of anyone what kind of haircut it has.
딜레두다 랑시 라시다 पेशावायना थंदा दिरो छगियो मारस ngjo ista tupgyo den den ribaina soso rangshi marwas di loga chadores dina ching mares
I can cut my hair and I will still be me, right?
dir de soso rangshi na ta tubaina ta ringbu shana re thundu shawaina re ngara rangja digros di kheba sung marwas.
Nowadays we would say that my essential nature, which we don't talk about essential natures anymore, but nowadays we would say that my essential nature is my genetics.
다 단다 소소 랑시라니 ngaju cha jora tingsa khari chayu launa rigze gal shayu was.
So for example, if I lose my arm, I would still be me.
To bishi kesi megyon ro shor ani lagbajik meo chawaina ngara rangja digros.
Aristotle believed everything has essential nature. And from there, essential nature follow all the characteristics of that thing.
딱 Aristotle 코랑기 khari je chiulan ngobo khandi jina sosul rangshi jiorlan shiyoras diladu di rangshil pabe sosu kejo loga mindo dinde jiorlan shiyores.
And the reason for that is because in ancient Greece, the finest example of knowledge was Euclidean geometry.
딱 한다 ngaju narabgi Greece tuju jida dina shiyoina ta shejanal keji shiyoina ta chik keji shuchi khari chadior lawaina tanda ipsi riponal Euclidean lani dida jo chadiores.
Do you know what is
ipsi
geometry?
geometry lana shingi yosa ipsi ripolani shingi yosa geometry lana.
Do you know what geometry is?
shingi yosa no they don't know.
It's a part of mathematics that studies shapes.
다 단다 khari lawana ipsi ripolana chirig yo angzirig jo di chirigi chashi jires dina khari kor jangir lawana ibira ipsi ripolida dine jilagures.
So Euclid in his geometry showed that just from seeing a triangle, if you have a triangle, is there any triangle here? If you have a triangle, lots of things follows just from that fact that the shape is a triangle.
The Euclidean gi thanda Euclid khorang gi chashani di ipsi rikba jora dina limbaina ngobo khande ji na ta ibira iblata ni ta kesi sursum roji imbaina dilata ni ani mangbu ji shetu yores.
So Aristotle wanted to have the same thing, to show what follows from the essential nature of things.
The Euclidean ipsi rikba na khari yore iblata ni shigur laura dina she thanda Aristotle khorang gi khari shir launa thanda ngobo den susu rangshi jor lara dilata ni ani khorang gi shigures keje dige.
So for the basic elements, earth, air, water, and fire, their essential nature determines exactly how they're going to behave, how they're going to move.
Ta thanda ngobo khande ji na khoran susu rangshi yor larwa dilapa be ani khoran chugi shijo tyen jora di ani yogo khande chigyo me dilara li yores lan sheres.
So I said, essential nature really shows why objects behave as they do.
Ta susu rangshi sta di rishe ge yoras dilata ni ani ngobo denzo khunjo shijo khande tingyo me dilata tingyo yores lan.
The simple objects, they have simple essential natures. More complex objects have more complex nature. It's just like us. We have much more complicated nature than oxygen or carbon and so on.
Ta ngobo rangshi jora susu rangshi tani ani shijo tingyo laura kesi ngobo di tab diu jiyo ena thagana shi khorangi shijo yan tab diu yores. ngobo di nyokzin chen imba na khorangi shijo di nyokzin chen cha de yores. Pe shaw na ngara zu minang shi cha shaw na nyokzin chen cha de ra ngobo. Dinde endu ngajo da tanda chaje solung da solung dige rigyo durwai na khari tab de cha gyore solung de jo tab de chinga zu nyokzin cha gyorwas.
So for the essential nature of these basic elements is such that it determines where they're going to move. What is their place of rest?
Ta tanda susu rangshi yora dige ani khari thaju chigyor lawa na ngobo de jo khawa gagre khawa yogu chigire la jora dilara li yores. Ta yogu chele de tanda shijo da dina sudyora kejo dina.
So this pen is not essential element, right?
Ta di nyugu de cha shaw na chungwa chagyor westi marwas. So this is made up of 4 elements, but it's not an element.
It's not an element. That means what? What does it consist of?
The jungwa maris la ra and the khari group shares. It's made up of 4 elements.
That's right. Excellent. So it consists of those 4 elements in different proportion.
Dilo the jungwa shi group la the jungwa shi ta na nyombo yorelan yomara loga cheta na loga cha de ras.
And depending on that proportion, it's going to be the movement of this pen.
Dilo the kurangi mangyung jura jungwa shi di dupcha shi di mangyung se shi dilta ne ani di yogu khande chigyo me di ralugu ras.
So we know the element earth has a tendency to go towards the center of the universe.
Dilo the jungwa sa jidwa di imba na kurangi rangshi khari cha de la na jigdeng kham gi kila de jura tinde roji rangshi cha de ras.
On the other hand, element water also goes down towards the center, but not that strong.
Thana shi jungwa sa churu cha sha na jigdeng kham gi kila dre che ina digas chukchumbu me sa da duwa ina.
Air naturally moves toward the region between the earth and water, but below fire,
ta thanda jungwa lungdo imba na khari kil ligyor la na sa da chui kila ligyor was.
and the fire has the natural tendency to move away from the center of the universe.
Ta me ro cha sha na khura rangshi khande la na jigdeng kham gi kini thala dre jora di rangshi do cha de ras.
So, now when I drop this pen,
Nyugu di
what
ma
does that show? What is it made of?
ta yudugal ma sa so dila du khari group sha wa chitungu dos. It's made up of earth, element earth.
The majority must be element earth. Why?
Dila du yen da shiga che mang che khari group sha la na chungwa sa di ras khar chini la is. Khachini de se manga tan de se las.
How do you know that majority
So-
of that marker, I guess, was earth when I drop it?
Ma yudugal ma sa ro ai sai chungwa sai group sha res lan she ro khiran zui khajin la is la orta. Because it fell down towards the earth.
That's right. It fell down towards the center, right? Towards the earth, towards the center of the universe. So we know this proportion of earth in this.
Ni ni shewa nang shi ros chungwa sa manga yo na khajire chideng kham gi ki chol du res thanda sai chol ma du dos ti ros.
But as we said at the beginning of the class, Aristotle noticed completely different behavior in the sky.
Ine ngoi ni jida go zug du ni she ros Aristotle khorang gi khari tokship chungyer khari thunang chung lo na thanda phanang le yo ngobu den zo bet manda yo chi khorang gi thong ros.
So as you noticed by yourself at the beginning, that gave him the reason to believe that the skies and elements, objects in the sky are made of different elements than objects on the earth.
Chezante shiju da yugu mindo tingu ros an dila du gang la ngobo phanang gi ngobo den zo gi dupcha da se khulai dupcha jora dini chikwa memba khorang gi ni ros thunang chung ros.
So he thought everything above the moon is made of the element ether.
Ta thanda Aristotle khorang gi khari sambare la na tawe wo dirwa nyela menchu di sa di chagi ra tawe yenchu jura di ani thanda nga chu chaje ro jungwa ta na jungwa ether la di ti tu ba she res.
And as we said, from the essential nature of the element, essential nature of the element will show you how the elements move. What you can conclude about the essential nature of ether?
Ta jungwa den zo la su su rang shi yor lan she so nyel sa ju melung de shi ga sa din shi ta di jungwa lo ga cha so ether la di gi ani khorang gi su su rang shi di khande yo do sam gu dos. Something like liquid, some like water, some are saying like ice.
You can conclude that it's always going to move in circle. The natural motion for ether is
The yogu chid go kora jadi rolas and khande ba do dos lung air
right. It's circle.
Kora
Ether in the
generos.
sky. Ether, that means element, objects in the sky, has a natural tendency to go in circles. That's the reason all the objects in the sky move in circles.
ta thanda jumba ether do dendi gi dubjo ngobu dendi yimba na khari yorla re gang lo ngobu den shi yora phanana khunzo yugu khande chugire kora jegdo dende khunzo irangshi khari lana kora yenge jiros chungwa either gi dup shoina.
So one more thing, what he noticed about the motion on the earth is what you already noticed. When I push this chair, what happened?
The say hulagal gujo tangdan shdo dingwa la kheran zu pesu shasar thongsar was kubja diya bija tang do bija tang sa jel tis jel khar chig dos. It stops.
It stops. But if I do this,
nenga indene chidi oinas it keeps on moving.
So objects would come to stop on the earth unless something moves them, right?
Say hulala ngobo din zo khadi gugur la oina chi chini bija tang me oina kagu was.
That is going to be long-held view, that unless objects are pushed, they come to a natural stop.
The say kula do chasha oina ngobo din zo chik buge me oina khajira rangshi gi gugures la jora ga dures tilagures.
See, that one is pushing that one.
Chiki bini yu so lasta.
Otherwise, we'll just stay there, right?
Chemba rangja de di ras bini ma lungsa.
Not nice. One thing what you know, that why he believed that is supported by our everyday experience. Unless you move something, it just stops and stays there.
Dida nganzo gyundu nyongwa do chadi ras suina shetu ras ngobo chil chini ma biyo ina khajire ngobo di gaw du ras du maras ka ras.
But also very well fits with his view about the natural nature of elements. When they come to their natural place, they just stop. They don't move anywhere else.
Dela du korangi chi kharishe lana rangshi gi khora khosa rojora delle oina ngobo denzo gudyo tang mares ka digi res lani sheres.
Now, employ your critical mind you use every day. Is that always true? Is there some problem here? Do all the objects, when you let go, they immediately stop?
The kiran seba je riba di tangi yolas ti pheji chelas. Ngobo denzo ma biura lamsang gagre gag mare khande resa changma. It won't stop immediately.
They stop immediately.
No, they don't.
They don't. Good. Which things don't stop immediately?
The lamsang gag mar lara ngobo. And ngobo khari khari ani lamsang gag yo mares.
That's right, goes directly there and stops. But some objects,
So when we apply a force on the ball, it keeps on moving. So when there is no force acting on that ball, it stops moving.
it stops moving. But think about if I have an arrow, bow and arrow, and let it go arrow. What happens with the arrow? Arrow is made, as you know, of natural element earth. So natural tendency would be to go to the center of the universe.
Dadi gyawa inasra pangwa ina khachigre dadi khare dubcha khare chungwa shike shidu mangche khata yenta sangma duba che dadi lai ho chungwa shini khari mangche khare sarwa diladu rang korangi rangshi di khar cha dire sa pechwa sai dubdu gala khwa dure sai chol durwas.
So what happens?
Khar chungures. So until that force is there on the arrow, it keeps on moving. So when there is no force acting on the arrow, it stops moving and it falls down on the ground.
This is exactly the solution some people come up in order to solve that problem.
Di thanda tuwa jura di lengya la ani khirangi thanda lengya jo shito Quran so ge di lengya rest ko jikya.
You exactly acted like a scientist or critical thinkers and thinking what has to be the case in order for that arrow to continue moving.
Dila do khiran su ita thanda samlo tang dan di cheri ba nang shi che dindi che ani thuwa tang ding dindi ri do chi sons ani thanda da di phangdu gala mutu ni ma drogu rasti mandro di khandis tu mar la di ani samlo tang di lengya di cheri ba nang shi gya sons.
So centuries later after Aristotle, Burden thought that there is a force impeded on the or embedded in the arrow, and that helps arrow move, and when that force is used up, then it falls down.
Di ta lo gyatha mangbu jela Aristotle gi jela yo lo gyatha mangbu jela ani chigi khari sam la oina thanda da jura di da khari de de la oina shuk ji yores an shuk di ye bodu khajire da di do digres shuk di zo du gala an da di ma sa yor lan sheres.
Some other people thought, for example, when arrow goes through the air, it pushes the arrow, and the arrow moves around the arrow back and pushes the arrow forward.
Khashi kharishe lawana da di phang du kho duore lungil duora di du da gangse du da digi lungdi kha kheni kha chure lungdi gyab la rang chale yang gyab ni biur lan shi yores.
That was one solution. You see that?
Khashi dende lengya resta. So it may depend on the mass of the object.
Yeah, there are different. But for Aristotle, that was a problem because the arrow would immediately want it to go down to the center of the earth, towards the center of the earth.
Aristotle la dikange the res khaina na dadi shidu gal khachigure tamsam khora khod dugure sai cholo ma dugure.
Right. Immediately when you go, we just
kangla you and khajir namsam mal public ros.
Yeah.
Lungi tenshu. So it may be because of the air, because when you let paper and a pen fall down, it's because of the air that the paper falls, touches the ground later.
Yeah, because of resistance. But right now, for us, it's important why it continues to moving, contrary to its natural motion.
The kora rangshingi thanda yogu chidang yora di da mando thanda kora mutu nidro de jora di loga cha de ros.
Right. Natural motion would be going down, but arrow continues to going straight vertically right in the air for a while at least.
Khailana rangshi khari law na ngobu de jo ma sa chol sa di cha yoras ine da phangsa jel khaji ore lamsa sal rum dos di siringa khaji re lungna du yoras di loga cha de dos.
So keep
So it's because of the force applied by the person?
Yeah, that was, as you said, one solution.
Polo ina
tis duguraya
sala tuksane sal tuksane. So she's giving example of a blanket. If you leave the blanket, it falls directly on the ground, and you let a ball fall down. It touches the ground and it keeps rolling. So there are differences.
It rolls, it rolls because of its shape and so on.
The did urla di didn't do la di khajin dugurla no korangi iblatani ros kogo ro di.
But just remember that. So remember this fact that this is a problem for the Aristotelian theory. And despite that, we're going to continue using that theory for centuries.
Thanda Aristotle ki namshal shadu gala cha shawena thanda di len thik min do da shue di da phandu gal khabdu shimba ma khabdu dor di khabdu dur di yen dende kangye yo bai nai thandu lo mangbuch ngazu khari muthu ni len dir lawaina thanda Aristotle ki namsha shagyo jura di ani rangja do the res.
So theories can have unsolved problems. And we can still hold on them till we get a better theory that solves those problems which are stayed unsolved.
Tanda Aristotle ki namsha di shatsa ra shatsa je len khashi thing min do thyo khashila dinde yimba ina namsha dinde rig de digres ine namsha di gyo khadu dur launa di thyo dil len thyo ina an namsha di gyo du yoros.
So even nowadays you have lots of problems that are unsolved even in the sciences you studied. But the theories you studied, we still hold on them till we get better theories.
Dilu du thanda im cha shaw ina re cheri nal namsha mangbu jiyo resra dilo du namsha din zo le ma theo mangbu twal ha de yo ras ina jela len theo ina ani namsha di jo dre din de yung yo ras le ma theo ina ge namsha sawaj male bodu thegara mutu ne dig yo res.
So we already see that the motion of the object down to its natural place depends on the proportion of the elements it has. Depends on the proportion.
Nye la shio nang shi ras ku jo dang jo ra di khande chi yo la ina thanda chungwa thanda ngobo khande ji na koran chungwa khari du be me jura dil pa be ni koran ku jo dang yo ras.
Somebody said already that big stone will fall down much faster than feather, right? Did you say that? Feather
and chigi she ras doji da ani thanda charo ji yu waina ani do chimbu di ngola sal thugures lan she ras.
Right? So if something is bigger, it's supposed to fall down to the earth much faster. Has more mass, right?
The yoga mangas the yoga sagre la jora sala yoga sai ngola yoga thugre la di khachin re la ina to se che la ras.
I'm just trying to find another object I can drop that it's different size. So what's going to fall down on the ground faster?
Ta di ngobo ni dollars. Dinni ne ani sai ngola thangbo khandi thugres. Di yeah, the tip. Di rasa.
How much faster object would fall down to the earth?
The jolo khaga sure lastini. Few second difference.
What?
Few second difference.
How do you know that?
The second khashij khakarcha khashish kheba yor la ra.
I don't want you to guess.
Because it has more mass as compared to the other.
Okay, if this object has a double mass than this one, how much faster would fall down to the ground?
The kesilas dose rota oina dile dose dabni di che oina ra and di gyole khagas sagres phagila dur oina. Mare dini dur oina la orda. Dabni it will fall down at double speed.
Okay, that's exactly what Aristotle thought. Aristotle thought the objects which have more mass are going to fall down much faster to the earth than light objects, right?
Aristotle gi some res.
Let's just drop them and see for a second what happens. The question is, how much faster? Again, keep this in mind. Don't forget it. Keep that in the back of your mind. That it was believed that heavier objects would fall down to the earth much faster than the light objects. Again, people gonna believe that for centuries. And you'll see it's not true. The earth has to be at the center of the universe. Why earth has to be at the center of the universe? Because it's made of the element earth. What is that?
What element is it earth made of? They were like 4 elements.
So what happens with the earth element, right? It clamps down and just wants to go towards the center, and it's climbing out on itself.
And
that means that earth has to be in the center of the universe. But it means also something else. What is the shape of the earth?
Round.
Round. It has to be round if the earth element, everything wants to clump to the center. So now you see that Aristotle's theory has an answer to the question why Earth is round.
Chezanta Aristotle korangi thiwa dil lenjik the ros se khola di samling di gogo kharchini rela jura di thiwa di len ra ros.
And now let's just see what is his picture of the universe.
Chezanta korangi jigding khamgi ma pari doj ko ro khande yumedi.
He thought that the sun, the moon, and planets were physically attached to the spheres. These spheres were concrete.
Tatanda dawa da nima da sada din samay ra Quran jo khari da jo chadur law na Quran su gi di dumsu jora dilapa be ani penju jo chagi was.
There are 4 spheres for each planet and 3 each for the sun and the moon.
Ta dinala thanda sar re la ani dumsu shi shi res ani dumsu shila du sum di kharil chagi law na nima la che chik di daga chagi res.
And you ask yourself, why it has to be more than one sphere? One sphere would be enough to carry a planet. Why do you need more?
Ta thanda dinal kharishyo res sa chigla ni dumsu shi re lan sherwa dumsu shi kharchin gugu res chiguna digmaru es lan thiwa dili ros.
Because he had to account for certain things in the sky and had to account for the uniform motion. That means that the motion of one sphere doesn't interrupt the motion of the other sphere.
Ta thanda di Quran kharil te ni shigur lawana yogu chidan di kharir lawana gyose chigla ra di gyose digi shemba dila ni kheba masue jora shuge mache di kor deshige res.
Only stars have single isolated sphere outside of all others.
Ta thana shi di da durwa na ya dumsu shemba jig chera dinal khari cha dir lawana kama rigjura kama dinzu dinal ne de ren res.
And the whole universe is finite. That means it has the end. What happens when you come to the end of the universe?
Ta Quran su deshi je du chi kharir lana jigden kham gi tha yor la jora di ke ji shig res ta nga zu thal le na khari chung res.
What happens when you come to the end?
Thoma da thama yora da thama del le na mare kesi yo na ani khari chig res le na. So if there is an end we cannot move further.
What?
If there is an end we cannot move further.
We cannot move further. What happens if I throw an arrow at the end of the universe? What would happen?
Ta daji yu wa na las ta tha jora jigden kham gi tha de yu na khari chung res. Khalai tha roj thong res. So relative to us we see that there is an end but there is no end over there in actual.
But he says there is an end.
In Aristotle Quran tuju jora digos Quran gi khari sheur launa jigden kham la tha yor lan sheur was. Quran gi khari la.
You see, I want you not to change the theory. I want you to accept the theory and see what follows from it.
Ta nangamu tuju jora dina yin dondo chora kiranzo. Ta namsha di khe len das len wa inasra ta tanda khari chungu res di jela thama yor lagora da.
So what would follow from Aristotle's theory if I throw the arrow at the end of the universe?
Ta jigden kham gi tha jora dila daji yu wena ani khari chungu res da. They digress. It will stop there.
It would stop there, or maybe it would bounce back, right?
Pagila ta tha yor law na ta thama di ra dela ga si ra ani ga ta dila ga digress la ra ga si re yana dela kheni rangja su do si ro asti. Nobody.
So you see, just accept the theory and draw conclusions what follows from accepting a theory.
Dila de namsha ji khe len sa na ta digi jela khari chungure la thiyo mangbush le ro asya.
So he thought the universe has to have a center, because if you have infinite universe, there is no center of it.
Ta Quran gi khari sheur la na ta jigden kham yora dinal ta tha yor la shera dila dugal dinala ki tewa ji yo ji shi yor was.
And we know that it has center, and what is in the center?
Ta jigden kham la tewa yor la ra Aristotle gi ngara jo shegi yo tewa la khari yor esa. Aristotle gi la jo la khari sai kola earth the earth
The earth. The earth, there it is. We are in the center of the universe, right?
nganzu jigde kham gi ki teo dire das
And these Aristotelian spheres, they're not all of them drawn in, just those that carry the planets.
dila duta sat ya makhi dinge jura di dumsu di te res thanda dinal
These spheres, as I said, they are concrete, so nothing can pass between them.
dila du thanda dumsu jityo sha do di ani dogdo roji cha de res dila du gala chigal chik inde thogum da thoya yo mares di
So with the first time when the comet was observed, and that was much, much later, in 15th century, somebody thought some Aristotelian picture cannot be right, because comet cannot go through these spheres.
ta thanda Aristotle korangi shedu gala dumsu dinde roshte ra dila du gala chigi chigla thoya yo re la na yo hor mari lan korangi dishi namsha sha yo ras ine ta thurab jongas le du koran su mi khashi khari thong la na kama tho jigring yo comet dinde thong res di thong du kunzu gita Aristotle gi namsha ta ta made yo rosh thong yo res kas na korangi sheju chona phai ngo bo den ju sulle thue yo marwas dishi yo ras
Okay. However, we said that nothing moves if something moves it. So Aristotle needed something to move that whole universe.
ni ngaran su chi khari she la na ngo bo den ju la buya yange me o na an gujo jeg mares lan she ras dila du gala korangi ta jigden khamna chama gujo tang de jo jora dil bunge ju kor lan korangi samres
So he thought that outside this larger sphere of stars, there is what he calls a prime mover.
ta korangi thanda jigden kham gi rumush ko do dinal tha dumsu do tha tha loyo di khar chag do kamai gi dumsu di chag do di ge ani gujo tangi ro cho ro di koran cha de gujo tangi cho di chi res
The important thing about that prime mover that it does not move. It's special.
di gujo tangi di koran cha de ra di koran khar shi ulan di gujo mixage res koran gujo tang mares lan di chi res
And what that mover is doing is just doing this.
gujo tangi di khari chi la wana di chi res nanglo sama
Moving these
kora ji do
spheres, right, with planets all the time.
dil du koran tha le ra kame dumsu di gi buje tangi cha du nanglo yo ta khar cha ore sa da din jura di sam gujo tangi yo din res
You know, this is what later would be like a role of God in Christianity and so on.
ta jela ani di samsush da kharil chigur la wana tanda ishu gi chena la da koncho gi chigur la jora dil ma pa beros
So now you saw how Aristotle thought how scientific explanation should look like. We explain something by showing that it has to be like that given its essential nature.
dil du ta seri gi dishe la de Aristotle gi khande jil lagi la na ra ngobo di shiju la na re kheju la na din de stungu yor la jora di kharil shi shan shi yor la wana koran tanda ngobo khande ji na so so rang shi jor la jora dil shan shi yor res la res
Given what really is. Anyway, I don't want to put this on the board. I want to ask you, are there things which we talked about that I observed at the beginning and Aristotle cannot explain with his picture of the universe?
ta tanda ngara ju mangbu ji she ros di na lo kheran ju thing du es chi yor ros di khar la na tanda Aristotle koran gi jigden kham gi ta pesu ro ji sha ro di na ta da ma deng ji
We said that theory has to account for all observable facts.
ta tanda namsha la na khande ju gu go re manzo toship khari chunga changmal de shi gya thunge ju gu go la ros
Can Aristotle's theory account for all observable facts, everything what we talked about at the beginning about the movement of the planets, sun, the moon and everything?
ta Aristotle gi namsha jora digi ta tanda ngaju ke je she na jigden kham no yo sa da tanda karma da nima da dawa da den sama yogu chidan je she thugu yo res di matta de she mai de tanda toship ma chungyo na la de she gyama tu adin del ha yo res Aristotle gi namsha na
Think about something what we observe in the sky. You know, when we talk about observable things.
dila dung ju mi
By
kyang be
naked
thong
eyes.
mi kyang be thong ai chi gora di chi ku shi gora thanda dila an din la samlo ta ni kiran ju shedas
Is there something Aristotle cannot explain given his picture of these concentric spheres that represent planets on
Thanda Aristotle khorang gi namsha dikhare Aristotle gi
Movement of
jigden
the
kham ji
planets.
pesu ji shaswa dinal thanda dumsu din zo yogu chidang da di sangma dishi gyayora di thanda ngaran zo migni yatta du gala migi yatta du gala tokship chungyo nala dishi mathu wadin du es yore yes there are
Like what?
khari resani so there are innumerable number of stars in the sky and he could not count all of them.
Well, he might not be able to count them, but he can say exactly, let's go back to his picture here. He can say exactly, they're all attached on this sphere. There's no problem about that.
The Korangi tak Tangada Gamatu in a Korangi Kame told Rishi Gairos, the Karulana Tanda Dumsujior Lara, Dila Anikama Dila Jarduris and the Rishish Gairos.
Do you remember when we talk about the worldview and we said there are some beliefs that are peripheral, so that if you change them, nothing much changes?
Yini Tanda Jigding Gita Sulan Tanda Jigding Gitawal and Kiranzu Yini Chik Shambas, the Digedo Juagonyo, Dina Latade this Jew Gawena, Shiras Keba Sumar and Tingu Esti Korshio. Yes.
Number of stars is that kind of belief.
Dila Duta Tanda Maranzu Kirangi Tanda Chikari Korshere, Kame Tanga the Sheras, the Kame Tanga Lady Tanda Diru Chadures.
Even if number of stars changes, everything else is going to stay the same.
Dila Dugal Kame Tanga Juache, Tanga the Jua draw and again. Shemba Dinzo Ranja Diras Keba Shu Sumares. Namsha Dil Jo Shu Sumara.
Say it.
So what she's saying is like we cannot see all the planets through from our naked eye, so they don't have telescopes at that time. So how can he say that there are planets which is moving around the Earth?
He could observe that some stars, this pinpoint of light, move in a different way. And those that move in a different way are planets.
Korangi tongyo di rangshi resina. Korangi kari tongyo lan kama khashi yogu chida manda. Yin shesa dunla kyo ya ma do dunla kyo ma kyo chigir la sa. Tenzo lan korangi sa la res. But he had not known like what planet that is.
He called planets however he wanted. They already made the names for the planets.
Korangi ming suesha relas nimani.
What does it mean he didn't know which one it is? People in ancient times made the names for the planets.
Sai ming dezo narab gi mi dezo gi suesha rolas. Ming ta shora ta Korangi tares. So how can he say that? How did he know that Earth is at the center?
He had reasons, right?
Korangi junse tang so asnila.
What was the reason? Why did he believe that Earth is in the center of the universe?
Ni Korangi sai kula teo rela junse she roas. Korangi khajini di she res. Sai kula teo rela di. So when we look up at the sky, we see the suns, the star and the moons moving, and we are down below. So we thought that we are at the center.
Of course, everything is moving around us. If everything is moving around, of course we are in the center of the universe.
The dosta dugal kharir la no ngoba changma nganjol thal kora jeyo ru thungyo ros. Dile don jigden kham gi ki nganjo yim baros. It's not certain. You cannot say that.
Why?
Khajin la chho maresti.
인제는 뭐 잡리 세고라 인제스라. 딱 가서 뭐 타고 되나. 뭐 세고라 차라. 기세 가 세고라 많이더라. 거기서 타고 되나. 가 세고라 같이 차라. 아마 기세 마스터 있더라. 그래서 기세 집에서 사만을 타고 들나라. 아니 집 보라마야 정말 타고 돼요.
So if she is the earth,
yeah.
if she is the earth, and these objects
who is Earth?
she the one with the spike,
no,
at the front, the nun at the front. So she said if she is the earth, they are moving around her.
Yeah.
If you say this is the earth, and we are some stars, and she said like if I'm a star, and maybe there are some objects moving around me.
Yeah.
So how can we say that earth is the center?
But we don't see anything else. We don't see anything else. We're just naked eye observations. That's all what we see. We see, the skies, the stars and planets and everything moving around us. We don't see anything else.
ngazu thanda narab ge thuju ke shigora ngazu thoe de jibu shigoras khari thonga de ta ngazu khari thongore namla kama da daga da dinju thongyoras dil tan shires shimba khegush thong maras dimash.
You know, there is always possibility that there is something else, even nowadays. But again, till you have an evidence for it, it doesn't matter what there is. You know, till you have evidence, then you can say it's there.
Thande imba ina re ta chik deshe roji kya shoina di member shimba ji yongsi ruas ina yongsi re la dinga zo khele ngole khadu chir lawana dila pangda yo ina ngole chig ruas shimba yone ge she kheba sugu yo marwas pangda di gu yo ruas.
We can never be sure. In science and in life, you can never be sure of anything 100%.
Dila dinga zo tsering na la khari mo khari to ke ji shoina ta ngeba di re la jora din re la thuya khabu chagi ruas.
So the only thing we have to go by is evidence which we have at the time.
Dinde ta lat ta ngeba kita dire la ni khadu na la tu yo maris la ra dinga zo kharil shishan shigir la na tuju la pangda khari ragu me dil shishan ni du yo res.
So let's stop now. You guys reflect on this, and maybe you should think during the break what Aristotle cannot account for in his picture.
Ta thanda di 진짜 차 소딘 차서 디간 캐십 치로 치스 안 케란 주치 खरी थोल समलो तांग लगु लाना तंदा एरिस्टोटल की नामशा जिशायरा दिल अनि कुरान दिशे क्या माथो अजरा दि खरी छा दियो रेस
What he cannot explain.
कुरान की दिशे क्या माथो खरी छा दियो रेस
Employ your critical head when you're drinking your tea and think, what that cannot be right in his.
जब गए रिबो जदी फेजे तांग आसा सज छुई छुई को खरी दिशे क्या थियो मार खरी ताकदा दियो मार लाजरा दी तो समलो तांग रो छिस एरिस्टोटल कुरान की नामशा ले माथे खरी छुई रेस लाजरा
거기 zambuling na tayo na ra.
Since he said that our universe is finite, so there should be a beginning, and he could not explain that.
Think about something what we observed about the movements of the planet. Can he account for everything? Sharia, what did you want to say? Sharia wanted to say something.
So maybe he could not explain about whether there is air in the moon or not.
Okay, nobody could that, so in that respect. There was something what was observed. Think about it. What did we observe about the movements of the planet? That in the system like this, in the system that you have everything moving on the nice circles around, he cannot explain.
Tanda Quran ki khari toshib chunga chama shigi ras tila du ngoba chama hachi gore tanda dumsu gogosh la kora gegda di gegyo tishe ras daga di yogu chidanda yogu ke shigi ras dina la Quran ki tishe gyamma to khari chayo res dina la khandes gegyo. So how these objects move around? He could not
He is a
explain
prime
that.
mover.
Ale di tishe gyayo ralas di khare gyahin so jiyor la nishe ras thadi.
Just
La ye da yue whether it rotates clockwise or counterclockwise, he could not explain that.
think for a second about how do planets move. What do we see in the sky?
Ta kiran jo di thol samlo ta res namla ta du khari thongu dos ani sa den jo yogu chigyo ra kujo ta di khades kujo tang gi res la di. They move together.
What is the difference between movement on the planets and then other bodies, then stars?
Ta thiwa yangyo ta ma du da ta sa den jo kujo khande tang gi res sa den jo ta ani kama yo kujo tang gi laura dingi phinju khandi kheba yo res kujo ta di khandes kujo tang dos
ande ha ko desra kuju tangiyo sa tama daga chala mena
ye ni laso So the stars moves at a fixed distance from each other,
Yeah.
whereas planets moved in a retrograde motion. It moves forward and comes back and again moves forward.
Can we see retrograde motion in this model? Can we recreate retrograde motion in this model?
Ta thanda pesu ditu ra dinal nganzu thanda dyla kyo thanda sadin zo gyo tang tang jora dyla kyo ya chilo she ya dyla kyo chejda dina chuntu res. No, we cannot represent.
No, right? If the planets are just moving on these spheres, there is never stopping, going forward, backward, nothing. So Aristotle really could not explain one of the facts that were observed, namely that planets express retrograde motion.
Ta thanda di pesu dinal cha shaw na nganzu gi sadin zo yogu chidang jua kujo tanda ni dyla kyo yan chilo she dyla kyo chilo chi she jora suloai di yogu chidang di pesu dinal chuntu yo maras di ani Aristotle ki teshigya thu yo mares kurangi pesu nala.
The other thing, we said the planets sometimes appear brighter and sometimes less bright.
Anchik ngaran so khari she lao na sadin zo kabre khari re yodan che kabre yodan chunga di kor she ras.
Can in that model be, when everything, they always preserve the same distance?
Anchik ngaran so khari di che lao na kama din zo changma khari re kyangta chikbol la ne yo.
Can planets express that sometimes being brighter, sometimes less bright?
Kama din zo din de yor la ra thana shi sa din zo din de yor res kabre yodan che kabre yodan chunga din de chi yor res. Sa din do Sadin chigures. Yes. The
Yes.
planets also do.
If they always are moving exactly the same distance,
And thana shi yogu che
nothing
jora.
changes in these circles.
Kuran zu gyangda jora khatu na chikpa chikyan yogu chidu gala gyangda chikpa yores gyo che dugu yo mares khande res sadin zul ta oina. Kama din zu gyo tang yora ina gyangda chikle di yor la sa di ro sadin zul ta du gal chikpa chikyan yores. No, it's not the same in case of planets. No, it's not the same case in case of planets. They move at different speeds.
That's right. Aristotle could not account of planets moving at a different speed.
Thana shita sadin zu yogu chidu gala gyose chikba relan chikba yomar thongu yora gyose chikba memba di an Aristotle korangi di dishigya thu yomar res chik.
So we have two problems at least in Aristotle theory, three which we talked about. Projectile motion, retrograde motion, difference in brightness with planets, different in speed.
Ta Aristotle gi namsha na langaron sugi ta dishigya ma to sum shesa swas chik dikhar lana thanda daphang ni yuwe juya di dishigya thu yomar koran khari shigir launa changma namsang khachi urlare sa chol dugu reslara di dugu yomara daphang du di chik dishigya thu yomaris niwa dikhar lana sa din zu yogu chidu khande chigire dyla kyo ya malo dyla kyo malo che di dishigya thu yomaras niba di che sumba dikhari chagir launa sa din zu para thanda koran su gyokse jura thana shi yodang chejung yo che thana shi ani kora gyadu gal gyokse minda yorwas di dishigya thu yomaris di sumdi